Everyone and their dog has wanted a thrower class in Terraria, and today I'm here to make it happen. Guys, we are going over the Terraria 1.4 thrower loadout. So as always, usually we would start with tools, but I really felt like that was unnecessary. There weren't really any tools that would match the thrower loadout. You could just go with, frankly, whatever you want. So starting off with our weaker weapons, we have shurikens, grenades, poison knives, bee-nades, and Molotov cocktails. For the hard mode weapons that we're going to be using against the harder bosses, we have the Shadow Flame Knife, Flying Knife, Magic Dagger, Toxic Flask, Light Disc, Possessed Hatchet, and the Daybreak. For our main armor, we're going to be using the Solar Flare Helmet, Solar Flare Breastplate, and the Solar Flare Leggings. We're going to be equipping a Fossil set as Vanity because I've heard people recommend this for the thrower loadout. So, we'll have this as backup just in case. For the accessories, we have a Fire Gauntlet, Berserker's Glove, Terra Spark Boots, Bone Glove, and the Master Ninja Gear. All of these accessories are aimed to increase our melee damage and melee speed. Now guys, I do have an ace up my sleeve. I think that the Zenith is actually a throwable weapon and should be a part of the thrower class. I know that sounds crazy, but the only reason I'm putting it in this loadout is because you essentially throw a bunch of swords when you use the Zenith, so I feel like it's only appropriate. We will use this as a backup weapon as a lot of our weapons are already really overpowered, so just in case it comes to that, we have the Zenith on our side. This loadout was recommended to me by people in our Discord server, so if you want to be featured in the next video, consider joining the Discord server. It'll be in the description down below. But let's move on to the very first boss. As always, starting off with the weaker weapons and the first boss, we have the Eye of Cthulhu. Let's use some shurikens on him. Let's see how much damage we could do with just shurikens by themselves. Not too much. Let's switch over to the grenades. How are the grenades doing? I think we're dealing more damage to ourselves, to be frank. Poison knife. How does the poison knife deal with the Eye of Cthulhu? Throw some bee-nades. That might have been a little bit overkill. Throw a Molotov. Get that fire damage. Chuck some more bee-nades. Chuck some more bee-nades. And the Eye of Cthulhu has been defeated. Absolutely demolished it. Let's move on to the next boss. Next up, something just slightly harder. We have the Brain of Cthulhu. Before I could even say anything, our bees already demolished most of the boss. So as you can see, the Brain of Cthulhu stands absolutely no chance against us. We'll chuck a Molotov cocktail, and the Brain of Cthulhu has been defeated. It was that fast. I don't know why the Brain of Cthulhu is so weak. You know what? I think that the Brain of Cthulhu might be easier than the Eye of Cthulhu. Don't quote me there though. Anyways, let's move on to the next boss. The next boss on our list is Skeletron. Should we throw some bee-nades? Let's start off with some bee-nades. Let's get some of our bees to start attacking him. Get rid of all the hands. Throw some Molotov cocktails. Do some fire damage. Get some passive fire damage. And give him some debuffs from the poison darts. Chuck some shurikens. They fly a little bit further than something like the grenades. We could probably finish him off with poison darts. Look at his health. I'm just spamming the poison darts. Listen to my mouse, guys. Intense mouse clicks. Okay, well, that's besides the point. Throw some more bee-nades. More bee-nades. More bee-nades. And Skeletron is dead. That was extremely easy. Let's move on to the Wall of Flesh. To be honest, I have no idea how we're going to do against the Wall of Flesh, but we do have bee-nades, and bee-nades are one of the most powerful weapons you could actually use against this boss. So we can get rid of the Hungry by throwing a bunch load of bee-nades. That will give us a slight boost. Throw some normal grenades. Let's see how much damage the normal grenades do. Not too much. Throw some more poison knives. This is probably our biggest loadout yet. Look how many things we have to test, guys. This is going to be so much fun. Oh my god. Okay, I am so hyped. This loadout is really fun to play with. It would be very interesting to do a playthrough using this loadout. But yeah, the Wall of Flesh, we're still using poison knife. Let's throw another Molotov at it. Throw maybe two. Get some bee-nades again. And we kill the Wall of Flesh. Easy as that. Let's move on to the next boss. Right, so still sticking with the pre-hard mode throwables, we're gonna try to fight the Destroyer and see how well we do with something like bee-nades and a Molotov cocktail. Of course, we have solar armor. That's why we're tanking everything. We're taking absolutely no damage. But yeah, how does this stack up against the Destroyer? Is this gonna be valid? Let's see if this is actually valid. I feel like it's doable. I really feel like it's doable, but it will take forever if I try. So let's switch our weapons mid-boss fight into the hard mode variants and finish off the Destroyer using these. Shadow Flame Knife. How does this do? To be honest, not doing too great. It's just bouncing off the Destroyer. Thing is, for the Destroyer, you really want to get piercing weapons. That helps out a lot. Flying Knife. Could this be valid? Let's see. Flying Knife. I mean, it does reasonable damage. If we swipe it with our cursor, not too bad. Magic Dagger. Let's see how this does. This uses up mana though, so that's one drawback. drawback of this weapon. Test out the Toxic Flask, pick up some more mana. Ooh, okay, so the Toxic Flask is not that bad. It has like this area of effect damage, which is pretty helpful against the Destroyer. Trying out the Light Disc now. How does the Light Disc do? We have 5, so that's a big bonus. We can actually throw 5 at a time. Okay, you know what, guys? We're gonna stop playing games. We're gonna just start using the Possessed Hatchet. Look at the Destroyer's health right now. Let's use the Daybreak. Just look at his health. He stands no chance against the Daybreak. This is completely out of his league. No questions asked. Destroyer just got destroyed. Moving on to the twins. Let's use the Possessed Hatchet and see how that does. Maybe chuck some Light Discs. The Light Disc has always been a very cool weapon, but it's just so greatly underpowered. I really used to love this weapon back in the console version of Terraria when I used to play on the Xbox, and it was a really cool weapon. But now in Terraria 1.4, it's just really not it. It's really nostalgic, but I feel like that's the only reason I really like it. Get the Possessed Hatchet. Okay, and once again, we're gonna stop playing games, start chucking the Daybreak, and look at the health just fall. Look at their health. Look how quickly their health just starts completely falling. The Daybreak, such a highly underrated weapon. And just to finish off all 3 mechanical bosses, Skeletron Prime. Let's do this quickly, guys. I really don't want to waste any more time. Just chuck the Daybreak at it. Skeletron, I'm sorry, but you are way too weak for this. Moving on to the next boss, we have Plantera. Let's see how Plantera stacks up against this loadout, or how long we can last. You know what? I won't use the Daybreak for this, just at least for the start. Let's use the Possessed Hatchet. That's still a really great throwable weapon though. The Possessed Hatchet, it's really underrated. For example, like whenever I'm fighting the Lunatic Cultist, this is my go-to weapon. The Possessed Hatchet, if you can get your hands on it from the Golem, be sure to use it. Do not neglect that weapon. We're taking some damage now, so let's switch to the Daybreak, and Plantera is easily defeated. Next boss. Our next challenger. Who do we have? Well, Golem, of course. Let's try the Possessed Hatchet, which is a Golem weapon, up against Golem, and let's see how it does. We're primarily going to be using the Possessed Hatchet now and the Daybreak, just because the rest of the weapons they just can't stack up. They're really early hard mode weapons, and they're just not going to deal that much damage to the upcoming bosses. We're getting pretty low, so let's whip out the Daybreak, teach Golem a lesson not to mess with the thrower class, get Golem out of here. All right, and look at what he dropped. He dropped a Possessed Hatchet. Isn't that neat? As I said, I absolutely love using the Possessed Hatchet to kill the Lunatic Cultist. Now, one reason I do this is because Lunatic Cultist flies around way too much, and sometimes he can be really hard to hit. So when he's super hard to hit, what do? I use a homing weapon. You can either use a weapon that has Chlorified Bullets or the Possessed Hatchet like myself, and it becomes really easy to kill the Lunatic Cultist. If you can just dodge his attacks, you just fly around, hold down your fire button, and essentially the weapon does the work for you. You barely have to aim. I can quite literally throw it behind myself and I'll still hit him. Look, I'm throwing behind myself. Like, this is a no-brainer. As long as you have one finger, you can beat the Lunatic Cultist. I'll throw the Daybreak at him. Just get this over with slightly faster, dodge some of his attacks. One thing this class doesn't have though is wings. I kind of neglected that and completely forgot about it up until now. We just have Terra Spark boots, which is still great, don't get me wrong, but wings would have been a big help, especially if we're gonna fight the Moon Lord. The wings might come in handy, and using the Daybreak, the Lunatic Cultist frankly stands no chance. There we go. Next up, we have the e-girl boss herself, Empress of Light. Let's see how we can do against the Empress of Light. I don't know about this one because this really revolves around dodging, and it is highly recommended that you use wings in this boss fight. If you try to defeat this boss without wings, good luck, but we're gonna try to do that anyways. I mean, of course, the solar armor is helping out a lot. It's keeping our health fairly high because of the 86 defense we have. But defense, don't get me wrong, it's really good, but it does not help us dodge attacks. So that is one thing we actually have to try to do. Let's heal, spam the Daybreak. We're so close to dying. Look at our health, guys. This is gonna be so clutch. No! Look how low she is. Will she die? No, she was so close. You know what? I am slightly ticked off. We're going to use our trump card. The best throwable weapon in the game, the Zenith. I'm gonna get so many comments saying, oh my god, Boyo, the Zenith is a sword. I know. Do you guys even watch my videos? I know that it's a sword, but look, our character throws swords, okay? So I'm gonna count that as a throwable. I know, I kind of cheesed that, but hey, it is what it is, okay? Let's move on to the Moon Lord. Let's see how we do. Honestly, I really don't know. With our accessories, we might not do this, but at the same time, we are fairly overpowered. You know what? Enough talking. Let's just get into it. So there we go. We have Moon Lord. Let's start off by using the Daybreak. I'm probably not going to whip out the Zenith unless we have to, but we're gonna try our best without the trump card. See, the most annoying thing thing is that we can't jump. We can't get over that main laser because I do not have wings. I just have Terra Spark boots, and that puts us at a very big disadvantage. We damage his right hand a lot. Let's get his left hand. Get his main eye. We need to get his main eye out. If I could just get that main eye. Okay, next time it opens, it's definitely going. Get the eye out. Get the eye out. Come on, before he shoots. Before he shoots. Please, please, come on, come on, come on. Okay, eye out. Eye out. Oh, we're so low. We're gonna die. No, there's no way. We're gonna die. Look at our health, guys. No. Yeah. GG. Okay, I guess the Moon Lord wants to play games then. We're gonna have to do this the hard way. I didn't want to do this, but we're gonna have to use the trump card. We're going to have to use the best throwable weapon in the game. We're gonna have to use the Zenith. So using the Zenith, let's see how we do. Come on, this is gonna be a piece of cake. We have solar armor plus the Zenith and solar accessories. Look, just look. This is so unfair. We already got one eye out. Let's get this eye out. Let's try to take it out before he shoots the laser. Nah, no, we still took damage from the laser. Well, what can you do? Okay, get rid of that hand. Easy. And his core is about to go. Yeah, the Zenith, this is an absolutely dangerous weapon. But there we go. That's another Moonlord victory for the loadout series. I feel very proud of myself. Knowing how bad I am at the game, that is an accomplishment. Well, if you want to see more loadout videos, be sure to check out another one over here. Consider subscribing to the channel and be sure to join our Discord using the link in the description down below. Once again, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in another video. Peace out.